Jamie. I am a facilitator, systemic constellations practitioner, and ritual designer. And I work with people, communities, organizations to design and develop processes that help them go into much deeper and richer conversations about who they are, why they're there, and what really matters.
I'm Nynke, and I create, design, and facilitate rituals for transitions in life or work. And I host and facilitate conversations around death, dying, and also grief. We're offering space for grief, because I think a lot of us are in need of that space. And I think a lot of, especially people who are hosting others, facilitating others, guiding others, need that space too, in order to do well and in order to do justice to the grief that they are encountering. If you are a person that guides, coaches, facilitates others, I think a lot of times you encounter grief, and grief is not an easy thing to host and embrace in the spaces where you might be facilitating. And I think it's really good if you step into it yourself and to see what ritual, systemic work, and working with our bodies can offer us in that space.
Thanks. And I think I'll add to that, that we are speaking to people who probably already have some degree of skill and practice around including feelings, somatic information, and what we're offering is a space to include systemic ritual, using some constellation style work, using ritual work, including things like artifacts, items that might carry or remind us of the things that we're carrying, and just ways to be in a practice in the time that we are together, but also something that you can take away with you afterwards and use as a daily practice.
In this workshop, we will work with constellations, with our bodies. We're going to share a thing or two about ritual and how they might offer us ways to hold grief, practice with grief, give shape to grief. It's going to be around 1.5 hours. I don't think it's a space that is only about grief, about grieving itself, but more about how do you work with grief? How do you work through grief? And in order to let you know what might be possible, we're going to do the work ourselves first.
Thanks. And I think to say it's an online digital space. There will be an invitation to come with some preparation, like bringing some candles or like creating your own space at home, which feels like a bit of a ritual and adds some softness for you. We will kind of be in breakout rooms for a little bit, getting to know each other in little ways, so that grounds us in the bigger practice of being together in a bigger group. And I think I also want to add, it's probably like if you ever had a really good experience during COVID times of like an amazing workshop where you just walked away and went like, wow, that was that's still traveling with me. That's the kind of workshop we're going to be running.